Ever hear the expression, it's not only what you know, but who you know that counts? That may be something of an overstatement, but making the right contacts and building relationships can help you succeed in your personal and your professional life. Hello, I'm Rhonda Pearson. Welcome to FYI Video, Networking Your Way to Success. What's networking? Networking's an ongoing process of exchanging information, advice, contacts, and support. Building your own network of people can truly enhance your life. Why? Because it's all too easy to become isolated, provincial, and perhaps a little stagnant or narrow-minded, not only in your job, but in your personal life too. Who wants that? When you get right down to it, networking is the key to keeping in touch. Let's take a look at some of networking's many benefits. Networking can be a learning experience because you're sharing information with other people. You can bounce ideas around and get valuable feedback. You can build your career while giving and getting the kind of support that can give you a real lift. So it helps you deal with the stress you run into every day. And finally, networking is a way of making friends and having fun. According to experts, there are a couple of ways to build networks. You can get involved with established networks by going to meetings of trade associations or professional societies. Or you can take advantage of opportunities that present themselves in your everyday life. When you're talking with people in your carpool or your kids' soccer league, for instance. No matter what kind of networking you take advantage of, think of it as a flexible concept that can be shaped and reshaped to suit your needs. In many cases, you may find yourself attending functions where you don't know anyone. If that makes you feel anxious, you're not alone. According to an article in the New York Times, being in this situation is our #1 social fear. Here's Susan Rowan, author of How to Work a Room, to offer some tips on how to mingle successfully. Just what do you mean by working a room?
Well, to me, let me define working a room. I call working a room circulating through any event, meeting, conference, party, meeting people, conversing.
How should you prepare yourself for working a room?
Take a moment to focus yourself. What are you there for? Clients? PR? To have a good time? When I went to my neighbor's daughter's wedding, I wasn't Susan Rowan, international keynote speaker and author. I was the neighbor of the mother of the bride. An exciting introduction, but that's who I was at that event. And by the way, I carried cards in my evening bag because my mother always said you never know who you run into. So I was prepared.
We recently went to a trade association meeting and asked some of the attendees what they got out of networking.
I try to think that I'm going to meet nice people and good people. I think the biggest benefit I can get personally is that I may make some friends. When I initially meet someone, I usually smile and try to shake their hand.
The two things that researchers say are the #1 icebreakers, get this, hi or hello, with a big smile and a good firm handshake. If you act like the host, and what does the host do? The host shows interest in other people's comfort. And if we look at the masterful minglers, they are people who make other people feel comfortable because they show interest. You extend yourself, and 95% of the people will welcome your graciousness and respond in kind, and respond kindly.
Well, whenever I see someone in a networking meeting who seems uncomfortable, they're sitting in a corner of becoming a wallflower, I'd walk over and say, hi, what brings you here tonight?
We met some very nice people at the meeting, but what do you do when you get stuck in a conversation that's not going anywhere? How do you break away without being rude?
What we do is have to take responsibility that we need to move on and just say, excuse me, it was lovely talking to you, or I've enjoyed talking to you, do you have a card? Don't say, let's have lunch if you don't want to do it. And then when you do, you say, excuse me. I mean, it's obvious you're there to business thing to work a room. Be as pleasant as you can, and then move a quarter of the room away from the person. If you need to say, I need to talk to my boss or a client, if that helps you, then say that. But then move. Don't just stand in that person's line of sight in their area, not talking to someone else. Because that would make them feel that you didn't like them, and it wouldn't be tactful or gracious. Excuse me, and then literally move.
What about going with a friend? Is that a good strategy?
Okay, the value of the buddy system is you get to walk in the room with someone and not have to come in alone thinking like everyone's staring at you because you can't get anyone to go with you anywhere.
Then there's the question of what happens after the meeting.
I think it's very important that you follow up with a phone call just to say it was nice to meet you.
I think people meet people at events and then they never take the moment afterward to follow up. If you took one moment to write on a note card from your business or your personal note that says, I really enjoyed talking to you, but I think if we take the first step is a handwritten note, even if it's one sentence.
Thank you, Susan. Working a room is a skill you can not only develop, but learn to enjoy. Going to a networking event can often mean socializing, but it's very different from getting together with your friends. FYI's Bill Turpey shows us the difference.
I had to get up at 6:30. I got home in bed at 3:30 and I was up at 6:30.
Jay Kennedy has an appointment at a trade show put on by his local Chamber of Commerce, at which he hopes to market his service to other chamber members. Jay owns a carpet cleaning company, which has been experiencing strong growth over the last few years.
The idea of coming here today is to meet with the other businessmen in the South Shore community and to show them that we're the best equipped, best staffed carpet cleaning company on the South Shore.
Hi, all set. Name tags are right over there.
After the trade show, Jay attends this event called Business After Hours in order to meet and mingle with other chamber members.
We're doing a little business networking here.
It's just a chance to talk about your business and do some public relations.
It's very, very hot water under high pressure.
He's usually in more casual clothes when he's out supervising a job. Here it's important to come across as professional, competent.
When you come to these chamber meetings, everybody always has a suit on, so you'd stand out like a sore thumb if you didn't.
But it isn't just appearance that matters. It's an attitude, a sense of wanting to come across as competent, businesslike. As Jay points out, the people here want to deal with other professionals. They've worked hard to set up their booth to communicate that sense.
They can see that we run our business very professionally, and in our business, that's a rare commodity, finding somebody that runs their business professionally.
Do you have a card with you?
The chamber encourages people to get in touch, to make contacts.
So here's my card if you want to have your...
But networking is more than just handing out a card. It really kicks into gear when people are sincerely interested in helping someone else.
My own personal role is to help people to help promote their own business. If I'm helping promote their businesses, maybe they're going to look to Mahoney and Wright to write their insurance and so forth.
Find out what they need, who they are, and how maybe you can work with them.
It's only taken a couple of hours at the end of a day. Nobody is signed up to get their carpets cleaned, but Jay isn't discouraged. In fact, he believes the time he's spent on this type of networking will pay off.
It's just name recognition and just keep maintaining and running your business properly, and people will call. And I've made a lot of good contacts today.
Jay's experience shows us that acting professionally can help communicate a sense of competence that really pays off over the long run. With me to talk about this guideline is Bud Mosley, an executive search consultant for Fortune 500 companies. Bud, why is it so important to be professional?
I think it's important that when you call people, that you determine if this is a convenient time for them to talk. When you're meeting with people, that you sustain a business communication, a business relationship that is clear, that you're timely, that the materials you provide to them are professional, that you keep your appointments, so they understand that this is not a spur-of-the-moment communication, this is not a frivolous request that you're making. It's important that you follow up with the references or the suggestions that they make to you, and you let them know that you have done that through a call, through a brief note, so that people know that when they provide service or suggestion to you, that you take it seriously.
Another key to successful networking is to always be honest and forthright with your contacts. Bud, can you comment on this?
It's important to be comfortable with saying the words, I don't know. Be honest. If you're not able to be helpful with someone in terms of the specific area of business they may be engaged in or interested in, then you should be clear about who you may be able to refer them to.
Thank you, Bud.